Well, hello Vivek. It's the 6th of December, so it's less than 3 weeks to Christmas. I see you have a Christmas tree up already. So, do you have other Christmas decorations up? Or is this just a
Mm,
foretaste?
yeah, it's just the beginning.
All
Yeah.
right, just to get us in a festive mood. Okay, well that's very nice. So here we are, and we're still going strong. I'm certainly not winding down yet for Christmas, and I don't think you are either. So we'll keep going, but lots of fun things happening today and all this week, and we're sure we can share about that. So just to remind viewers of what we're doing, and there's a list behind me as well. We start off with a just a minute slot where we talk for about 60 seconds or so about what we're about and our passion. Then we look at the week gone by, about what's been going on there, some highlights and maybe some lowlights or medium lights, whatever we fancy. Then we're going to do the road ahead, typically what's coming up maybe in the next few days and so on. And then a trick or treat, and then the two Ronnies bit, the sign off. Seems to become a bit of a habit. So Vivek, would you like to take the blue box and tell us a bit about who you are and what you're passionate about with your work?
Namaste. My name is Vivek, and Vivek Technology Integrators is my company. I believe in living a simple life. I believe in thinking differently. I'm proud to share my beliefs with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. So, software and hardware evolves with time, and often it leads to complications, and people often make it more complicated than what it should be. My thinking is it has to be simple. Of course, simplification needs a lot of sophistication to be built in, and that's where I come in. So if you have technology confusing you, don't let the cowboys take you for a ride. Let the Indian handle the technology, and life becomes simple. The details, as usual, are in the YouTube description, and as you can see, my website, vakeTechnology.com. So that's my just a minute. So I'm giving the blue box back to you, Corinna.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Corinna Shepherd, and I'm creator of Dancing Kites Creative Learning, which has come out of many years of personal experience and working in a variety of fields to do with training, working with adults and children. So I'm an IT trainer by background. I've also taught English for business, and I'm a dyslexia specialist. And more recently, I've developed mind mapping coaching. And I add all of these into something called the Dancing Kites Creative Learning System. There's a lot to sort of say in a minute, so best if you want to go and look at my website, www.dancingkites.co.uk. On my homepage, I've got a business video I've had done, which sums up about all the different ways I might be able to help you with your young or old. So I'm passionate about unlocking your potential through creative and interactive learning. And if you imagine that the dancing kite, that could be your life, that could be an area of your life. Maybe you haven't even designed it yet, you don't know what's on it, but looking ahead to 2014, that could be the best year you've had yet, but you need to just put some thought into it, put some creative thought into it, and make some changes, maybe have some training. So all kinds of areas there. So if you want to chat more to me, contact me and we can arrange a confidential Skype call, and I look forward to talking to any of you in person. That would be great. So I'm sure my minute is up. I heard various beeps, though I didn't think I'd been on for a minute, but there you go. So let's go to the week gone by. So what have you been up to? Obviously finished the Movember now, so...
Yeah, November got finished. As I was mentioning last week, there was a hangout scheduled with David Leopold on Monday, but it didn't happen because it turned out that it's kind of strange. He had lots of problems with his speakers and headphones and so on. So I tried to help him over the Hangout itself, but since he couldn't hear a word I was saying, so effectively we had to abandon that on that day and reschedule it for another day, and it did happen. I'm coming to that. Okay. Tuesday I actually watched David has the same David Leopold has he's having lots of hangouts, so he had a hangout with a Janet Hamilton, who is an online coach for runners.
Okay.
So apparently she used to train people, I don't know how, online, but using emails and things. But now she finds that the Hangout on air and these Google Plus, what Google Plus provides, is a very useful tool for her. So she can train people remotely, saying that, okay, you put the camera in front of you and you start doing your exercises, and I'll tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong.
Wow.
Move your leg a bit to the right, left, whatever, and that's what she was talking about. So she said the Hangout tool is so effective for her, and
wow, it's good to know.
So yeah, and same evening I participated in another Hangout with Ray Hills, where the topic was, what's your holiday social media strategy? Because we are getting into Christmas time and so on. So do you change your marketing strategy to suit the holidays and so on? And it also got into quite a bit of discussion about political correctness, religion, should it be in the business, and yeah, quite an interesting talk we had. Wednesday I had the Hangout with David, which was originally scheduled for Monday.
Okay, with the working speakers now.
Yes, and yeah, you actually need to watch it. I can't tell you about that really, because we talked about underground trains, Movember. We talk about Simon Sinek.
Ah, yes, the Golden Circle.
TED Talk.
Excellent.
And then Google Analytics. So we covered a lot of ground there. So
in how long? Was that 5 minutes, 5 hours?
It was about 50 minutes. So it was very intensive discussion we had. So
wow, sounds very interesting.
Yeah, and we are actually thinking of, myself and David Leopold are thinking of putting together a Google Analytics course or something, or webinar, hanginar, whatever.
Interesting. Good for you.
He's in States, and yeah, we need to see how it's going to work out. But
wow, it's exciting.
Yeah, but he seems to be he's in his 60s. But he starts his day at 2:30 in the morning. Strange.
Why?
I don't know. But goes to bed at 6 or 7 in the evening or something like that. And,
okay.
But he talks to people on both sides of USA, Europe, and yeah, he's quite active. So
wow, good for him.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I have actually overrun time, and
that's all right. It's all interesting stuff. That's
yeah,
really
I'm
good.
giving the blue box to you. It's that has been my week.
Great.
Gone by.
That's very interesting. Yes. Yeah. So my week gone by. It's really, really interesting stuff that's going on. It's like, you sow seeds, don't you, and for various aspects of your business and your life, and then the plants grow, and they're not always where you expect them to grow, or maybe even the types of plants, but there's such a lot of energy going on in my business at the moment, and it's not all in the way I was expecting. So I'm really pleased, because the last few weeks, I mean, I've had a few cancellations and stuff, which has been disappointing for various reasons, but it's given me the space to get things in place. One of the things I've really got on top of, which I've been wanting to do for about a year and just couldn't get anywhere near for some reason, was my email newsletter campaign and my database of my clients, because I do lots of networking, as you know, and I've gathered loads of business cards, as many people do, and lots of people then do nothing with them. And I don't want to spam people. I don't want to just automatically add people to lists and then annoy them potentially, even though what I'm doing is to help people. But you know, people can get annoyed just by being overloaded, and that's I respect that. But also I use MailChimp, and they're very hot on that you need to opt in people rather than opt out. So you know, I don't just want to. I had like 1,000 people, I think, on this spreadsheet. My previous admin lady input them.
This may be, I don't know, you might not have noticed it, but MailChimp actually allows you to create a list which says that that this list is to send out, and they have to opt in to your mailing list. So
I didn't know that one. That could be very useful. I need to talk about that with you later, because because I have a new admin assistant, and she's been actually, I've been paying her to email people individually, so on my behalf, and it was obviously quite time consuming. But again, I was just very keen, not, you know, just to be courteous to people, and also to just reconnect and to say, you know, this may not be for you, because the fact they haven't become clients of mine means that they you know, certainly at the time they weren't looking to be, and that's fine. But you know, through networking, it is about collaboration, and it's about referrals and so on. It's not just about selling to the person, as we both know. And so the tone very much has been, haven't updated for a while. This may not be for you, and that's fine. But maybe you know somebody who it is. And I was majoring on my ebooks because it's nearly Christmas, so I thought, you know, they might live next door to somebody who's got a child who'd really benefit from my ebooks. You know, so no harm saying. And then also just saying, well, you know, where are you, and like to touch base with anything I can sort of help you with. So I'm not expecting loads of people to email me back on that, and they haven't, but I've had a high opening rate. I did a resend today, haven't had a chance to check that yet, but I think it has something like 67%, or no, 37 people open, so I know, over 30 something of percent, which is, you know, above the industry average. So and I've had a few lovely emails back saying, oh, sounds you're doing really well, or lovely to hear from you, or passing my details on. So it's been really good, and I haven't had somebody yesterday emailing me who I met a couple of years ago at 4N Aylesbury, and I've been thinking about you, and I just want to connect you with somebody. Is that okay? Yes. So there's something going on at the moment, and it's like I keep bumping into people that I used to know and in different situations, and the connection's good, and it's like they're pleased to see me and hear from me, and so I think it's really important to do that. So I'm really excited about that. And my new admin assistant is just really good. I think it should be someone I can really rely on moving forward as my business will grow. So I'm still in the process of catching up with people, but now as I'm going to new networking meetings, I'm just more know how to deal with the cards a bit more, and asking people, and asking people, do you want to come subscribe to my newsletter? They're saying yes, so that's lovely. So I think, you know, there's so much information overload, isn't there? And I know you've talked about that in terms of technology and so on, that if there's some people, it'll be a smaller number than my original spreadsheet, but that's fine. They're people who want to receive the information, happy to move it, you know, pass it on, so that's great. I've also done a radio interview this week, so for something you may not have heard of, which is called Blink FM. And they're linked to Marlow FM, so not quite on the BBC yet, but people keep saying to me, you're going to do BBC Breakfast. I say, I'm up for it, so if anyone's watching, wants me to do an interview there, I'm getting there, I'm getting to that point. Anyway, it was fun. It was part of Wickham Youth Action. So it's a local charity, and a lot of the kids have not really fitted into school and so on, so many of them may well be dyslexic, so they wanted me to do a piece about dyslexia and how it affects young people and so on. And I turned up, and the man who did it, who did Kevin, was a really nice guy. He hadn't actually interviewed before, and it was meant to be one of the young people doing it, but long story short, it was him, and it was great. It's a bit like this. We just sat and we chatted, just had a big microphone in front of my head, but actually did a lot to promote me, and I was thinking, great, but I'm not there to do a real salesy thing, so I had to keep bringing it back to the British Dyslexia Association have stuff on this as well, and and he said, tell me a bit more about your website and your mind mapping coaching and stuff, and what was your website again? And that's going to be played several times on Marlow FM. I think next week they're going to do it, and then over Christmas at different times, so it's about 13 minutes long, but fantastic. And when I get the edited version, I'm going to put it on my website. I might need to ask you how to do that, Vivek. But so that's again just part of my PR and my publicity, so that was really exciting, and who knows what will come of that. So that's another plant that's grown up in the way I wasn't expecting. And I'm doing I have my Link for Growth. It's a network I'm getting into. We had Chris Ogle here a couple of weeks ago. We did the Link for Growth coffee morning today, the first one that we had, and it was really nice. We had there were 11 of us in total. A couple of people have found me through my posts on social media, so clearly people are noticing and reading what I'm saying, which is fantastic. They came along and it was very relaxed. It's not a high pressure business networking event. It's about community building, and obviously through that the idea is to build business and so on. And it was a lovely atmosphere, and it was supposed to be from 10 to 11:30 at the Coffee Approach in Great Missenden, and a sort of drop in as you like. So most people were there for 10 o'clock. The ones who came late apologised, said, look, it's fine, and most people left about 12:30. So they were there for a good hour longer, and one guy said, I don't normally like networking, but I just really enjoyed it, and he doesn't know many people in the village, so he came along for that. And he's does video, and so another useful contact. So it was a lovely atmosphere, and who knows what will come out of it, but it's good. So they're going to be once a month, so our next one's on the 3rd of January, so it's a nice way to get back into things after Christmas, I think. So have a coffee and not a mince pie then. And I've just come off a Google Hangout with somebody else from Link for Growth who found me on the forum. Chris Ogle had connected me, and he's doing something called Skills for Kids, and I may well be doing a video blog on him anyway in the new year, looking into doing workshops in schools, and a lot of synergy, a lot of similar passion, though it's different to how we're expressing it. So that was again a useful collaborative link, and I'll be promoting him a little bit, he will be promoting me, and that's part of marketing, isn't it? So it's sowing some more seeds, and then we'll see what comes up. I'm hoping for some Chinese bamboo, though, aren't you, Vivek? Do you remember the story about the Chinese bamboo?
Yes. You
can be sowing and sowing. You sow it and you water it, you water it and water it. And for quite a few years, nothing much seems to be happening. And then suddenly it all shoots up. Yes. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. But what's been happening is underneath the ground, the network, the strong roots have been forming, and I absolutely feel that. And I have, I've been having growth, I've been having a harvest, don't get me wrong, but it's not as big as I want it to be. So I'm looking for that next year. So, but I'll definitely get a really good support network. So I think I'm in a good place now for this to really, really grow in a new way for next year. So that's what I'm focusing on. So anyway, that's a lot going on in the week gone by. So tell me about the road ahead for you then. Some more hangouts, more fraternising with the great and the good, and or Christmas decorations, or a bit of both?
Yeah, a bit of both. You've more or less said all of it for me.
Okay. You're doing some training videos. You mentioned about working on training videos.
Yes, I am busy creating training videos, and
sounds good.
Putting them on the web, and
great.
One of the things that is slightly difficult with the Google Hangout tool is inserting your video is slightly complicated, but that's the price we have to pay for allowing the copyright lawyers to rule the world.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what I would be doing next week. More training videos. I already have created a couple of them. One I would be showing today during Trick or Treat. So I'm giving the blue box back to you.
Okay, so I got a video to include in my Trick or Treat, so we didn't quite suss that out in the green room, did we? Are you going to add that in afterwards, so it'll be seamless, so the viewers won't have suspected a thing? Or do we play it straight away? I think what you're saying, you're going to add it in afterwards, are you?
I think so.
Yeah,
But
okay.
we can't say that.
But they haven't heard us to say that, so no one will realise that's what we've done. So that's good. All right, so the week ahead, yes, it's sort of, I should be writing my Christmas cards really, but I haven't had time for that. So I'd like to get another e-shot out to my book customers, because I've got Through the Magic Window is now ebook and a ebook workbook version, and I've got them ready to upload and go live on my shop in time for Christmas, just about. But they're good stocking fillers, so it's sort of a last minute buy would be really good. So I'd like to send another e-shot out to the book customer. I'm not going to send to my networking people because I don't want to overdo that, you know. So I'm hoping to have time for that. I'm going to have a Google Hangout with Chris Ogle on Monday, because again, this new idea, which I will go a bit more public on probably after Christmas, but I'm starting to put stuff on my website, thanks to you, Vivek, about helping people who are creative to their dancing kite could be about earning a living out of handmade goods in Great Britain. So I've got a whole package together with support and coaching and e-commerce and so on, and marketing help, but and internet marketing, which is sort of getting into place. So so people can have a sneak preview if they want to look at my website on that. So I've got an aspect about my business I'm going to chat to about him, so that would be good. I'm doing two foresights or two talks next week about the magic of vision boards, because it's coming up to Christmas, so we want to have a bit of magic, bit of fun, but we're still focusing on our business, and 2014 is going to be here soon enough, and really, how much have people planned it, visualised, take steps of what's going to happen? I've already got various things in the calendar for January, February, even beginning into March, so stuff's already happening for that. But if you're not intentional and you don't visualise, stuff's just going to happen or not happen. So it's going to be fun foresight, it's going to be interactive, just to give people a bit of a flavour for vision boards and what they might do. And obviously people want to know more, and I'm hoping to do it videoed, so I can put that on my website as well. And I'm going to another BNI group. I seem to keep going to BNI groups at the moment, so I've had an invitation to one of those, and again they tend to be very good about the referrals and the collaboration side of stuff, which I think is a very strong place to be with people. So I'm delighted to go back, because I've got hopefully some good key contacts and relationships going there. Yes, so that's really it, I think, in terms of that. So time for the trick or treat. So are you going to show us your video now, Vivek?
Yes, I'm going to share a small video by screen sharing. Namaste, this is Vivek Baindoor with a short presentation entitled Google Plus Posts. This is part 1 of a series of short presentations about Google Plus. All presentations in this series will follow a specific format. The first question asked and viewers would answer would be why, followed by how, and concluding with what. Did someone ask, why should anyone bother with Google Plus? The answer really is a short but rather harsh one. How do you spell Google Plus, please? If you have a business and a related website, you would have realized how important Google is for you. So if you have a website and you want to appear prominently in Google search results, you would do very well when you get involved with Google Plus. Please note that I am using the words get involved with. By that, I mean you need to be actively involved with Google Plus. You cannot just hire some agency and ignore what they do. The olden days of hiring SEO experts
and making them do all the work for you while you do something else are well and truly over. The new semantic search that Google uses means keywords become only a small part of the algorithm that they use to index different pages and serve search results. Social signals now get lot of weightage. This means anyone who is creating good content, articles, videos, blogs, which attract more interaction with majority of people, would get prominence, and those who use only keywords but provide no real value get penalized. This means that when you have created good content, you need to share it with intent. Create good content, share it with intent. Sharing happens spontaneously by individuals who find that you are sharing and spreading their word as well. Google Plus is all about including people into their circles and your circles and encouraging others to put you in their circles. More about circles in another presentation, but easy and quick way to get people to put you in their circles is to take the initiative yourself and put them in your circles. When you do that, they would get a notification which encourages them to include you in their circles. After putting people into circles, you need to share information in such a way that people who see the information would be encouraged to read the information and then share it amongst their own circles. 3 tips for creating an effective post. Include a very good high resolution photo or a picture that relates to the content of your post. The title of the post should preferably appear in bold, and this can be easily achieved by putting an asterisk mark at the beginning and end of the title, as shown on screen there. If you want some text to appear in italic font, then you need to use the underscore character as shown on the slide there to enclose the text. You also need a good and relevant hashtag. The hashtags are not owned nor controlled by anyone, and everyone can make and create any text as their hashtags. They help in searching, and people would be able to search for the hashtags. So you need to be careful to use this tag. For example, I use a tag integrate simplify life as my hashtag in my posts. But you need to be careful to use hashtag when the rest of the content relates to the tag. Never simply dump a hashtag when it does not relate to the rest of the text of the post. Please note that if you misuse a hashtag and people find that your content does not really relate to the hashtag that you are using, you are likely to be reported as a spammer to Google, and that would not be good for your standing. Whenever you see a post that is interesting and you relate to the content, it is good practice to endorse the content by clicking on the +1 button. This would notify the original poster. This then gives an opportunity for them to connect with you. Whenever you put in a comment in response to a post, it is a standard practice to put a plus sign and the name of the person. This would send a notification to the person, and they are then more likely to read your comment and respond back. This is called as plus mentioning by name. I repeat the term, plus mentioning by name. If you don't do this, then the person may or may not notice your comment. A great way of engaging with others on Google Plus is to share their content, and you should plus mention their name when you do that. This encourages greater engagement with others, and they then are more likely to read your content and share it with people within their circles. You need to be aware of the fact that you have to add value. For example, when you read or see somebody's post and want to comment, make sure that you are adding value to the post. Banal remarks such as, "That's a great post," or "cool," or something similar is no good, because they do not really add value. If those are the kinds of comments that you can think of, then you're better off by just clicking on the +1 button, because that's what it is for. What you should do is put down your own thoughts in your own words, which adds another dimension or more information or your personal reaction to the original post. Only then you are adding value. When you share, as far as possible, you should share it with public. There are situations where you will not be able to do it, but I'm not covering that here. Now, when you share publicly, it means your content gets widest possible exposure, and others who may not have you in their circles currently may find it interesting and decide to add you into their circles. Never ever spam on Google+. When it comes to Google+, definition of spam takes on a slightly different and greater meaning. If you simply post a link to some article and do not interact with others, if you hardly ever share someone else's content but only keep posting your own content, you will be treated as a spammer. When you post something, you have to go back to that post and see if someone has responded to your post. If anyone has, then it is imperative that you respond to every one of those responses as far as possible. This is called as engagement. If you never go back to your own post and check if anyone has responded, or if you never respond to anybody who has responded to your post, then you will be treated as a spammer. So the old ways of posting links to various blogs and articles, etc., in an automatic way, and not actually going back and checking for responses and engaging with others, is not useful at all on Google+. Thanks for watching. That was end of part 1. Thank you.
Okay, have I got the blue box yet?
Yeah, you have.
All right. Okay, good. I wanted to talk. I wanted to have a little video myself, which you'll add in afterwards. Obviously, that's fine. About mindfulness and the labyrinth, which might sound a bit weird to people, but it's about. There's a place I go down to in Essex, which I'm a bit concerned about at the moment because it's right on the coast. So I'm hoping. No, seriously, I'm hoping all is well there. I'm going to, get in touch with them in a day or so. But because they're right in sort of where all the flooding is happening, which is really grim, isn't it, for people there? But it's a lovely place, and it's a lovely place I go to, and I connect with people, and just have a sort of quiet time and get lots of creative thoughts. And I'm just thinking, with Christmas coming, there's lots of extra things coming up, and certainly I've got a stack of things I'm not getting done, and other good stuff with my work is happening, but then my cards aren't getting written and so on, and it's easy to feel a bit stressed in the run up to Christmas and get sucked into things. So I thought it'd be good just to have a little bit of quiet, the time just to invite you, the viewers, to walk this labyrinth with me. And this is something that I filmed when I was down at Athona in Essex and Bradwell-on-Sea. And a labyrinth is a bit like a maze, but you don't have to worry about where you're going because it's actually very simple. It's a small area, and you just walk in to the centre very slowly, and then you walk out again. So you know exactly where you're going, and you don't have to worry about the journey. And it's just a way of actually just walking in a quiet way. If people are into meditation, it's a way of helping with that. If there's something that's new to you, it's just a case of just enjoy it. It's done on my phone, so apologies if the quality is not brilliant, but it's just natural. It's just me walking right through this labyrinth. You'll hear a bit of noise in the background. I think there's an aeroplane or a bird or whatever. But the thing about meditation and mindfulness is just about being in the present moment and hearing things and not worrying about it, just letting it go, but just trying to sort of just be and not think about all the other stuff. So I invite you to walk with me through this. I think it's about 2 or 3 minutes, or slightly longer, and just imagine you're walking there in the fresh air. You can breathe in the fresh air. It's near the sea. You've got the breeze on your face, and it's just a little bit of space just for yourself, just to take that time out and hopefully de-stress a little bit before you get back into the busyness. I always think of this kind of thing a bit like, those little snow toys that you get, the snowstorm things, where you shake them and all the snow is sort of falling, and you just put it down and then you just let the snow settle, and it's like that you'll probably pick it up again and shake it again because we're all busy with lots of things, and that's the way things are. That's fine, but you just have that moment where you just let the stuff settle a bit, and you can see the image a bit more for a while, and just enjoy it, not having to do anything. So if I can hand this over to my technical expert, who will now press the button and make the video happen, and then we'll rejoin you in a few minutes. We'll all be really chilled out, won't we? Hopefully not asleep. Okay.
A labyrinth is a wonderful way of practicing mindfulness. It's like a maze, but there's a path that takes you into the centre and then out again. So when you practice it, what you do is you walk slowly, meditating as you go, being aware of the present moment. There will be background sounds which you can incorporate in your mindfulness. So why don't you accompany me now as I walk through this labyrinth.
Okay, well, it's been great to chat again and find out all the things you've been doing this week and share some of the stuff I've been doing. And I must look into that MailChimp thing now, so that was very helpful. And I'm Corinna Shepherd from Dancing Kites Creative Learning, and I'm passionate about unlocking your potential through interactive learning and creativity. And you are? In case I've forgotten?
It's Vivek Baindoor signing off. Remember, integrated, we live.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.